Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry for my mouth being open right there. I was about to do it, but I was trying to click on it at the right time. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's DManThaGr8. I'm back once again with another episode of the DManThaGr8 podcast, baby, on Invest TV. And with that, I had some quick topics that I wanted to jump into today because we are in. I'm gonna take my glasses off. We are in quite the conundrum at the moment because the NBA free agency is kicked off. I would go over some of the moves, but it's a lot to memorize at the moment. And I was like, I like to write stuff down for because I'm. It's just me talking here, so it's a little bit easier to cover things when it's written down. And I didn't write any of the moves down. I could just give you a few things from memory, like Miles Turner today, as I'm recording this, is Tuesday, was traded to well, he didn't get traded. He got picked up by Milwaukee. And in that move, they decided to waive Damian Lillard so they would have the space and cap space to do that, which is a big move. And it's not only just was it a big move, this is something that I guess is a precedent set now. Is you are expendable. That's what a lot of people have been trying to say today. But it's like Dame wanted to leave, and it was probably going to happen this offseason anyway because the experiment with him and Giannis didn't appear to be working. And they went out in the first round both years they played together because one of the two wasn't fucking playing. So yeah, what can you do? Then we have Brooke Lopez going to the Clippers. Don't know the fuck why. And then actually, I'm about to get into some of the reason why in a second, but that's for later down in this podcast. Uh, I'm gonna say the Pistons just picked up Duncan Robinson for $40 million, and the money is kind of shaky, but it's Duncan Robinson. He's a shooter to replace one of the many shooters that they've lost because they need a backup point guard now. Because when now with Schroeder gone to Sacramento, you're going to be missing a lot of playmaking off the bench. And Dennis Schroeder is a great player to have to back up your starting guard, and he's great at running an efficient offense in the NBA. And then, as well as that, we have the major. There's not really that many major names running around in this postseason. You got to put the stuff on Do Not Disturb. DeAndre Ayton got dropped. He might go to the Lakers. That I hope he goes to the Lakers. That would be the Lakers' only hope of getting a solid big man that they could even play. But that's if he's not a piece of crap and soft like he always has been in this league so far, outside of 2022. Well, no, that was 21 actually that he wouldn't. So even further there, Giannis may be unhappy. Giannis might be available soon. And then I'm gonna talk more about that when I get into that Laker talk that I'm about to talk because I'm about to rip them to shreds. So first things first, I do want to say that our that my uncle was very right about these injuries and stuff like because he's been saying Mug taking months off for a toe, and I guess turf toe they say it take 4 months to heal, which is kind of like a toe surgery, but it is a surgery. So I guess I can't be like, oh, it doesn't mean nothing. It's a surgery, so I guess it's 50-50. It's hard to really be like, oh, you're about to sit out for 4 months about a toe. And I think that'll be just about the beginning of the year or into like the first couple weeks of the season for everybody that is getting those surgeries right now. Like Jaren Jackson Jr., he just signed $240 million yesterday, and then he just announced that he's going to be missing 4 months for turf toe surgery. And it's like if you got a turf toe surgery and you're going to be out for 4 months, that means you're not going to be back until preseason. And that's like you're missing the entirety of training camp and all of those other things. So it's like it's really hard to get off to a good start in the season when somebody is pretty much going through something like that because it's a weird surgery and it's a very weird like 4 months sounds kind of nuts for a toe. That's all I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna just leave it there because I don't know that I like. We'll see how it affects the team. Maybe they can still be good. I don't think so though. Just actually while I'm here too, talking about turf toes and things. My Cleveland Cavaliers have been making some interesting. There's not very many moves, so I'm kind of waiting on them, and I get to use them here to segue into another one of my favorite teams in the Lakers, who are doing almost fucking nothing in this offseason. And there's a whole conundrum about LeBron James opting back into his contract and that limiting our moves. We signed some guy that I guess he could play a little bit of defense and he could shoot well. So I hope that he could do the same in LA. But the thing is, the concern about that is when a shooter comes to Los Angeles, all of the fucking sudden, he can't perform his job description anymore. He can't shoot anymore. The 40% shooter becomes a 30% even shooter sometimes when they come to the LA because the lights will be too bright. Let's see. So and then that's another thing with that. Rob Pelinka apparently is we're trying to conserve money so we can have cap space for 2027. And I don't know why the fuck we're doing that, especially when everything that's happened in the NBA the last 3-4 years has been indicating that the league is pretty much going towards a situation where draft picks and having young players that haven't signed the max contract yet being the be all end all for your team. And that situation being it that way puts us in a very shitty spot because we fucking suck. One, now, because I'm gonna move this towards my face more. So we are in a very shitty spot. This is just pretty much as plain as I can say it. Luka is turning 27 this year. So it's like you'll be waiting 2 years, so he'll be almost 29, turning 30 for us to try to win a championship. Or he'll be 28, 29, going on 28, going on 29 before we're competitive to try to win something. And the thing is, I was watching Legend of Winning streaming on Playback earlier, and then he sort of detailed how the only person that really makes sense for the 2027 timeline would be Giannis. And the thing is, I'm gonna debunk that shit even further, right? Is even if we were to wait the 2 years to try to get, or the year to try to get Giannis, right? Every guy in the NBA right now, they're signing max contracts on their team currently. And then they're going to proceed to ask for a trade from that team. So you're not going to get somebody for free because most of the big players, especially now, the only last time we really had big free agent acquisitions, I think maybe like Paul George just joined Philly and Klay Thompson joined the Dallas Mavericks last year. That's the most recent shit. Then you have LeBron going to the Lakers and as a free agent. Then you got Paul George staying in Oklahoma City for a dude that stayed and waited until he was a free agent. Then we have Kawhi deciding, I'm about to go to the Clippers instead of the Lakers or Raptors. Just stuff like that, right? And those are the most recent big major free agency deals. So the free agency shit really don't mean nothing anymore because nobody big is moving in free agency. They're going to get traded because they're going to sign a $75 million deal and then they're going to X out, which is selfish on their part, but it makes a lot of sense because you're making the most money, the most bang for your buck as a player because I get to get traded wherever I'm going and I'm making the max money. So it's like it kind of kills the whole point of them establishing these huge supermax contracts because they made these big ass supermax contracts for their, if you stay loyal to your team, you can make this. But the thing is now the players are just staying on the team and then asking for a fucking trade. So now because hey, we don't want to spend $60 million and have to come up with $60 million worth of players to trade to this team. It's a very shitty fucking situation for everybody involved. Then you have people like Bradley Beal, who's on the worst contract in the league, where I talked about him last episode. See, he comes up a lot, unfortunately. I hate that Bradley Beal is the example because he's a really good player. He used to be a really good player for that matter. He's still okay, I guess, but he regressed significantly this year. He's not a $50-$60 million man no more. So, with that being said, with that being said, it's the NBA is in a crappy position. A lot of people online have been blaming CJ McCollum for doing the CBA, but the whole trying to stop super teams and all of this stuff has really bit everybody in the ass. So, and the thing is now is like at the rate we're going. Now, we've had a new champion every year, so it seems like there's parity. But the thing is, the Oklahoma City Thunder if they come back with the same roster, it's going to be a fat chance. But the thing is, the scary thing about this is that the Denver Nuggets are building a roster back around, like they brought back Bruce Brown. They just traded Michael Porter Jr. for Cam Johnson. So they're making moves to try to be more competitive. So that next season, they're going to come back a little bit different, a little bit more retooled, and they're going to be on ass because they were a game, a couple quarters, really. Because the thing is, if they won that game 7, it's another animal. And the thing is, like, shoot, I don't know if Minnesota, the team designed to beat them, would have beat them or not. But the whole world would be different. We would be sitting here with Indiana Cap. They're saying they're the NBA champions. That's how, like, that butterfly effect of something simple like that is insane work. But yeah, the Lakers, they're in a shitty spot, and Pelinka's not making it no better, and LeBron is certainly not making it no better. And the thing is, unfortunately, is for the Lakers, if you don't do what LeBron say, or find a way with LeBron when he comes and when he goes and sits it down for good, which is gonna be soon, because nobody wants to trade for a 40-year-old man. And then one of the teams that he would even agree to go to probably won't be a fucking contender once you trade for him. Once that happens, it's a wrap for y'all ass, and we going straight back to the bottom of the barrel where we were for those 7 years after Kobe tore his Achilles. And we will deserve every bit of the shit eating we will do. And then we somehow wasted 7 years of LeBron James and ended it with 1 championship. And the crazy thing is, he was good for 19, 18. I think 19, I'll give him a pass. There's young guys, young players, young core. So 2020, we won. 2021, we could have won. It was a lot of injuries, but then they panicked and traded all our role players, all our assets even though they held on and still managed to make the playoffs. They traded everybody for Russell. Let Caruso walk. And then went to the shitter with Russell. Then we managed to get rid of Westbrook and get D'Angelo Russell and Vanderbilt and Schroeder and all of them came back. We made a run, made the conference final. So that's 2 good years where you made it far out of the 4 at that point. And 2024 was a bust because they played like shit after the play-in tournament, or not the play-in tournament, the season tournament, in-season tournament. They played like shit after that. Then they ended up being another play-in team once again. Then the next season, this year, they were middling all year. Well, they weren't middling, but they were pretty much on the same trajectory they were headed before. Then we made the big Anthony Davis-Luka trade, and then we jumped up to 3rd seed. But we were a severely undermanned team because we weren't a complete team whatsoever to even try to make a run at a championship. So we lost to Minnesota because we didn't have a big man, and then a lot of our scorers couldn't perform by the time we made it to the fourth quarter, which was the problem the last 2 years against the Denver Nuggets. So to take it way, way back, shout out to Logic. It's a crap situation, and we about to be back in the doghouse. And I don't know if we could even compete even with Luka, and we might have to let Luka walk so he can try to compete, so he could be the great that he's supposed to be. And his career might be completely derailed at this point because they sent him over to the crap hole that is our Lakers. So yeah. Next, Michael Beasley, or not Michael Beasley. I could talk about Michael Beasley, but I don't. There's nothing really important about Michael Beasley to talk about right now. He's been super popular the last couple weeks, and it's kind of funny and dope to see him popular again because he's the most mythical NBA player of all time, almost. Because it's like, oh, he would beat every one of your favorite players one-on-one, is what everybody like to say. But next, anyway, Malik Beasley, as I was supposed to say, he's cooked as his ass. Hopefully he gets found innocent because Detroit needs him. And it was a great shooter on Detroit this past season. And it'd be a damn shame to lose him at this moment in time because Detroit's not really doing too much in this offseason, and they're losing a lot of guys. So hopefully he can come back because Detroit needs that shooting. And I'm off him. I got a couple more basketball. I do got a couple more basketball topics to jump onto too. Let's see how far along I am. I'm only 17 minutes in. Let's see. So looking down at my handy dandy notebook. So I got 2 more topics. And then they're somehow both connected to the Indiana Fever. So I get to talk about this because, like I said before, this is my podcast, and I get to say what I want and talk about what I want, how I want. All right. So Sophie Cunningham was apparently she shit on Detroit and Cleveland as destinations that are going to get the next expansion teams or whatever, because they like to ask the players in the league about what they think about the business moves around the NBA world, even if they're not really relevant to anything, or for that matter, a star in any regard. Because it's like, and then that's the thing too. How do I say? Let's see. I gotta walk the line here. Because it's the WNBA, they're sensitive players and all sorts of stuff, so I do have to walk the line. So to walk the line a little bit, who gives a damn what players say, especially in the WNBA, about the business decisions that are being made in the WNBA? Because the thing is, personally, I wish there was a NBA team for every 30 NBA team. So it's like if there's 30 WNBA teams, there's more talent that's allowed into the league, and we will eventually grow to where they'll be like sort of the NBA, because the NBA has a lot of talent on every team. There's very talented guys on every single roster in the NBA. It's just a matter of who's on the right team and who's on the wrong team. And Detroit, especially as somebody who lives in Michigan, Detroit, we support the hell out of our sports team. And don't even get me started when they get to winning. Oh boy. All sorts of bandwagons and fair weathers come out the woodwork, and we're the greatest thing since sliced bread every time. So Detroit is one of the greatest places, especially to play on the sports roster. And the Detroit Shock, when they existed back early in the 2000s and late 90s, were multiple-time WNBA champions. Shout out to Bill Laimbeer. Bad boys. What you gonna do? Then Cleveland. Cleveland. Now, think about Cleveland. Cleveland is a really nice place. Every time I go to Cleveland, I've been going to Cleveland for all 26 years of my life, and I love it every time. I have fun every time. Well, shoot, I like everywhere I go almost. So shoot, I like home too. I love home, and I like when I go on the road. And as like a lot of people like to shit on different places, and it's like Cleveland's for sure better than fucking Indiana. Cleveland's one of the best places in the country, really. A lot of people try to make shit out to be certain things because they have their own biases and misconceptions that they like to push. But Cleveland's one of the better cities that I've been to personally that I enjoy in America. And then saying that as well, I like Indianapolis too personally, but shoot, Indianapolis, I like the state of Indiana better than I like the state of Ohio. But I like Cleveland a lot more than I like Indianapolis. Like Indianapolis, it doesn't look as important as Cleveland does. It doesn't look as nice as Cleveland does from somebody who's been there at least once. So, I mean, I'm not gonna shit on Indianapolis. Shout out to the people of Indianapolis. I like your city. I shoot, and then the thing is, it's nice over there, and I've walked downtown at night in both places, and it wasn't so bad. But a motherfucker playing in Indiana can't say shit about Cleveland or Detroit because both of them better than Indianapolis and were more important than Indianapolis. And then that's the thing. Mugs want to suggest Tennessee and all that. We just seen the whole thing about people saying that people shouldn't play in Memphis and they feel danger in Memphis and all of that. Now, I'm not using that as an excuse to shit on that place and all of that, but who really like? Do we really want to go there? Do we really want to bring a team there when we could just put them in the same team as an NBA team? Why? But on to the next. On to the next. The Caitlin Clark Brigade is back in action again because you have fools like RG3 and them running his damn mouth again because the players didn't rank them as high as they believed she should have been ranked. And the thing about it is, they want to say, "Oh, you guys are hating on," and it's like, so you're supposed to come and accept somebody that's coming in to take your job because it brings money or whatever that you guys like to say or whatever. And it's like, shoot, it's like it's somebody that's missing games. And then the thing is, and then that's the thing too, is personally as a voter, when I vote for the NBA All-Star Game and different things, I account for other things than just who I want to be there personally when I do my fan vote. Like I might have some biased answers, but that's because I would be more liable to vote for Ja Morant or somebody because I know that they're not the biggest, like they're not the most dick road people in the NBA, and they're not gonna have the number one vote of everybody in the world. So it's like, if you don't have to, I want to give somebody that needs credit, that deserves credit, to get that job there, to get that break. So, and then that's the thing too, is like, and it's like, shoot, they're supposed to like who their biggest competition is. They're supposed to like that somebody came in the league, and then it's like, oh, you're not shit because we don't care about you. We care about this player, not you. Are they not supposed to feel some type of way because of that? Are they not supposed to feel some type of way? And mind you, this is how do I? Because I see, I almost slipped up right there and said something bad. We're dealing with we're dealing with the, what is it, the fair sex they call them. So and it's like, I'm supposed to control, we're supposed to control their feelings to do what we say to do. What kind of sense is that? We're just supposed to be like, oh, you're not supposed to feel any type of way. You're not supposed to talk shit to this person. You're not supposed to play your game. You're not supposed to be who you are. You're not supposed to try to beat this person. We just want this person to come in. And then mind you, the same people will go and complain about LeBron James or all these other people, the star of the league, and it's the star of the league, that they're protecting this player and protecting that player. But then when it comes to this person and you're legitimately, outwardly saying how you don't give a fuck about the players and the teams in the league. You only give a shit about this player. I think people would feel some type of way. And fair is fair regardless. Might have too low, maybe. Might have been too low. But the thing is, if I know they're gonna get the number one of the fans and might get the number one in the media, I could give somebody else a vote. Why not? But that's just but the damn thing that everybody wants to come out and then they want to defend and they want to press hard and keep continuously complaining about these things. And it's like every time something happens, it's the biggest complaint in the world. It's the number one trending topic on Twitter. You get the whining and crying because your favorite isn't there. And it's like, and then you have the audacity to sit up and talk about Kobe tards and Brian sexuals and all of these things that they call fans of LeBron James and Kobe Bryant and all these people. I ain't never seen the time where they had to argue on behalf of a motherfucker not getting support from the players in the league. But they want to act like mugs are so big and bad. But quit dick riding. That's really what I'm trying to say. Quit fucking dick riding. So on to the next again. I'm back on that wrestling stuff. And then my first take that I put on here was the Raw Tag Team title belts, the WWE World Tag Team Championships. They freaking suck. Holy crap, they suck. And not just that, it's insane to me that they put the belts on the New Day at WrestleMania and had them beat the War Raiders, who were boring for the most part. Like they didn't. And the thing is, every single champion that they put in place on that brand, they never defend the championship. Actually, the New Day might have defended them the most, and they didn't have a great title reign at all either. And they're one of the greatest acts in quotation to be in the WWE ever, and they still couldn't have a good title run with those belts. But the fact is, they put the belts back on the motherfuckers that had the worst tag team championship reign in the history of the World Wrestling Entertainment, World Wrestling Federation, Worldwide Wrestling Federation, the worst tag team champions ever. Now, and I'm saying this right. I am a huge fan of Finn Balor. That's my dog, man. I love Finn Balor. He's awesome. And I'll be on the Finn Balor bandwagon as long as I'm a fan of wrestling still. But damn, him and JD didn't get to defend the titles but once, and they fucking lost them. And they had the belts for 8-9 months. So why the fuck would we do this again? It doesn't make sense. Then I'm gonna jump into SummerSlam real quick. So they put Cody versus John Cena again. Cody versus John Cena, the first one really wasn't that great. I'm hoping it'll be better this time. Cody said he's gonna try to be better with it this time too, and he's gonna take it on the chin personally. Because and that's the thing too, Cody is the most in shape, in prime person that Cena has faced, and that was the worst match of all the matches John Cena has had as champion so far. So hopefully they can make this shit pop, because Cody and Cena WrestleMania was a travesty. The match was garbozo. So hopefully they can kind of rehash this feud and then make it worth our while this time to even care to see it again. And then we'll see what happens after that. Because the thing is as we discussed before, John Cena as a heel, there's gonna have to be a change eventually. Because it's like you telling me. Because the thing is, and then that's the thing that kind of sucks about turning him heel in the first place, is like, okay, we're a babyface for the first 2 months of this return. I only appear on Netflix Raw, the first episode, Royal Rumble, and Elimination Chamber. Three appearances. Then I turn heel on the third. And then he's been a heel since March 1st. And he's showed up on a few Raws going to WrestleMania. Then he started showing up on SmackDown. So, and then he was every week from April 19th or 18th or whatever, whichever day was the day before WrestleMania, until until the finish line, and he's been on and off. He's been every week more or less for the last few weeks because WWE has had a show like every damn other weekend. And we're gonna get into that in just a second now too. So yeah, hopefully, because the thing is, they're gonna have to turn John Cena face one more time, and because his last match is gonna be in December, so it's like, what are we gonna do there? And it's like, what is gonna be the story to get us to? What's gonna be the catalyst to bring John Cena back to the light side? How are we gonna get Luke Skywalker back into the fold? So, the other match that we got on deck so far too is going to be Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton or Naomi. And the thing is, I'm hoping that it is Tiffany for SummerSlam, and then Naomi doesn't get off the cash in until after, because I think it would be an absolute travesty. It would be the most disgusting and potentially sickening thing that Triple H has done since he came into power in WWE. Besides maybe the Cody Rhodes shit that they try to lie and act like they wasn't about to just have The Rock run his shit, or just some of the stupid decisions that they have made in the last couple of years. This would be the worst for them to have Naomi, who she came back to WWE. Now the thing is, and in this, it's not a Vince McMahon WWE anymore, so there's no excuse or reason for them to be the most petty people in the world this time. So it's like Naomi, proven that she stuck through some dark times in the World Wrestling Entertainment, World Wrestling WWE since 2010. Because I remember watching her on NXT back when she first came on WWE television on the game show NXT, when they had the women's season. And she's came so far. She had the Glow Championship run and all of that. Then they had that situation where her and Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné walked out of WWE, and since she's come back, she was the afterthought as a babyface, sitting next to in the big three with Jade Cargill herself and Bianca Belair. Whereas now that she's a heel again, and she gets to sort of tap into untapped potential that she's never got to experience so far. And she's proven herself to be an excellent performer again and again and again, because she's had a banger match with Nia Jax. She's had a banger match with Tiffany. And then that's more than certain people that are higher on the card have done. And then that's what I'm saying. It would be a travesty for her to take the title from Tiffany before SummerSlam and then lose it to Jade Cargill. And that, because the thing is like, you telling me that she did all the work she did, she turned heel and all this, that one just put a dagger in the heart of her career, really. That she would have never got her just due and never got a good title run to call her own. And then, not only that, this is the era of, we don't just take the title. Because the thing, and that's the wild shit about it, is like, you look at Jey Uso, he had the title for 50-some days, and that's like the shortest title reign outside of like a couple women's championship, like women's tag title runs in the last 3 years since Triple H has been in power in WWE. So with that being said, it's a very shitty position that he can put himself in with this, because it would be a rotten no good thing to do if he was to do it that way and then ruin Tiffany's run and take away her SummerSlam spot to. And then that's the thing, and then we're about to have Trish potentially put. Actually, I don't know if I could say that yet because SmackDown hasn't, but they're gonna bring Trish back to fight Tiffany for the World Championship at Evolution in a couple weeks here. So, and it's like, and we're doing all this to put Tiffany over, but then we would then bury her championship reign by having her lose. And then that's the thing, you could have Tiffany get screwed and Jade win the belt just for Naomi to cash in that same spell right there, right? It would be a brilliant maneuver to do. It would be perfect. in story. You could go so many ways with it. It's just that way of having Tiffany lose before SummerSlam would be the most fucked up situation that you could do, and it would absolutely kill the interest of the audience, which WWE has had the ability, which had WWE always has the ability to do. So then, it is what it is with that. And then my last and final thing on this episode, so I'm gonna have a little bit of a shorter episode today because I've kind of run through these topics pretty quick, and I've went on tangent on a few, but I haven't necessarily got to stab my knife into them and dig into them the way I need to. So, on to the AEW little piece here. So I'm gonna I could add an impromptu segment real quick. So, AEW All In is in about a week and a half. It is, guys, because it'll be 7 days from now. It'll be a couple days from Showtime. So, about a week and a half from now. So, I'm just going to talk about Hangman Adam Page, who's challenging for the World Heavyweight Championship in that main event. Because, like I said before, Hangman has to win this damn match, man. Because I don't know if AEW can afford more months of the Death Riders running around and bowhogging the World Championship scene when we could very easily move on and, how do I say, we could very easily move on and have some competitive matches for the world title. We could open up a new can of worms and a new story. And then I feel like it's because I don't know exactly how excited. Like I'm very excited for All In, but I was like, that's more because I'm going to the show rather than for the show itself. And that's kind of where I'm at in my mental for this show itself, right? So, I'm sorry, my damn mustache is itching my nose. But I just like, shoot, it's hard for me to sit up and say I'm the most excited and super duper super. I can't wait and all this. I can't say, let's sit up and say that. I'm super excited for the show because I'm about to go. And there, like I said before, there's nothing like live pro wrestling. And when you're there in person, it's nothing like it. So, with that being said, I'm hoping Hangman can get out of there and win that title because he's overdue for a world championship run. And then in hindsight, it appeared as if he probably shouldn't have ever lost the belt to CM Punk. And then he probably should have been the one that Bryan Danielson probably shouldn't have won the world title. But then at the same time, because the thing is I don't know if Jon Moxley really needed to have a big Death Riders run as world heavyweight champion. So it's like, his thing is, like, because the thing is like, I feel like, how do I say this in the right way? Me personally, I'm a John Cena guy. Actually, I'm gonna use John Cena as an example. John Cena stat padded the hell out some title runs because he's the 17-time WWE champion. He won the WWE belt like 14 times now because he was a 3-time world heavyweight champion, and he won the WWE championship 14 times, with this most recent being in April, right? And then that's the thing. I'm not somebody. I don't like how actually, speaking of Bryan Danielson again, when he won the WWE championship, by the time he finally won the belt and was about to have a run with it, he got hurt. But that was his third WWE championship run because he won the belt twice, because he won it from Cena at SummerSlam 2013. And then he won it back from Randy, who cashed in that night at SummerSlam, his Money in the Bank, and then he won it back like a month later. But then Randy won the belt back and then carried it till Mania. So I don't like quick, I'm about to make you a 3-4-time champion quick. The thing is, because most of the time, like, if the first title run you have is a long run, and that's cool. But then that's the thing, Hangman has never got that long run. And I was like, shoot, if you give Hangman that belt, Hangman should hold on to that motherfucker for at least 8 months. And, well, actually, see, how long? At least 280 days. that's kind of my benchmark for a decent title run. Is about 280 days, about 9 months with the belt. And it's just for it because thing is he's supposed to, and then that's the thing. A lot of people say the main character of AEW and all of these things, and it's like, well, he's the guy, and if you have him hold on to the belt for a minute, or at least until like Revolution in January, or a month or two after that. Maybe even until like Double or Nothing, and give like the next guy a few months. Like, cause the thing is like because I was like, I don't want to say hot potato the belt, but it's like, shoot, when you give a bad guy the title back, it'll be, because the thing is, and then that's the thing about timing is like, I don't want to be like, oh well, at the biggest show of the year you have the world champion lose to whoever the challenger is, and they get their moment at the big show. Because sometimes the world champ gotta retain. It can't always be a new champion at the biggest show of the year. And then with that being said, I'm thinking that Hangman can get a good run that he deserves, that he more than deserves at this point. Because it's like he's supposed to be the flagship guy, he's supposed to be this, and he's supposed to be that. And it's like Moxley gets 9 months, and Kenny Omega had almost a year. And then he had to damn near die to pass it on. He had to get injured a whole lot to pretty much start to lose some of those belts of his. And then that's the thing too. Kenny is deserving of a run or two with the belt again. And then that's the thing with the diverticulitis and all those things. How long is he gonna, like, he's still great in the ring, but it's like, how long is Kenny Omega gonna still be around as a professional wrestler? You know, MJF, he's still a young gun, so he'll be around a while. But then you have to give Ospreay his title run that he's been working for. Then Swerve has to win it a couple times again. So it's like there's so many guys in line. There's so many people that need to be around to do these things. And it's like, shoot, we only have so much time, and you don't want to you don't want to spoil the milk that is the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. You want it to be something worked for hard and strive for. And there's a lot of people that deserve gold in AEW and deserve a world championship run. And making that decision is going to be up to Khan, but hopefully Tony Khan makes the right decisions, and then hopefully they have the right timing. And because the thing is like, if I'm going to have a short 4-month title run, like, because the thing is, Swerve did a lot in his 4 months as world heavyweight champion last year. And it's like, he did a lot in that time period and was a good champ. But it's like, shoot, it was only 4 months. Because that's the same with like how Damian Priest won the World Heavyweight Championship. Like, he had 4 months, and then they sent him back down the card. And then that's the thing. It is like, shoot, Swerve has been booked really well in AEW. But the thing is, there's so many people in line, and it's like, oh, how do you decide who gets what here and who gets what there? But the thing is, the Hangman, who has been there since day one, he was the one that turned over the AEW Double or Nothing sign when they first announced AEW 6 years ago. And for him to finish his story and save AEW would be a poetic way of him earning his redemption arc. And then being like, that would be a perfect way for him to earn his redemption arc in AEW, and a new chapter for AEW to be the best. Like, the Tony Khan wants to say AEW better right now than ever has been. Well, the thing is, Hangman can put you there. It's up to you to make the decision or not to do it. And with that being said, I'm going to sign off. So I'm going to hit y'all with this catchphrase, and I will catch you guys later.